This video has massive spoilers for all the vanilla and downpour campaigns. Do not watch this video if you do not want to be spoiled. You have been warned. Hi, welcome back to another incredible video. I'm tired of playing mods for Rainworld, so it's time for a video essay. Hooray! Today we'll be doing a very unique video format known as a tier list. We'll be ranking all the vanilla and downpour Slugcats based on their abilities, campaigns, and how frustrating and unfair they are to play. Spearmaster. Let's go ahead and start at the bottom of the bunch with Inv. I haven't beaten Inv's campaign and I don't really intend to. Unless you get me to 1,000 subscribers. Please, God, please, just get me there. Please, I would just, anything, please, I'll do anything. Inv is a secret scug you can only play after solving a certain riddle. They have survivor's movement speed and basic stats, with their only unique abilities being mauling and waking up to an unstable weapon of mass destruction. I'm just gonna throw him an F tier because, like, why are you playing this? Go find something more fun to do, like, I don't know, giving yourself paper cuts, literally anything. Actually, we'll bring it up to D because the fan art's pretty cool. Moving on. Next up are Monk and Survivor in the B tier. Now you may be asking, why are you ranking Monk and Survivor at the same time? Because they're literally the same Slugcat with slight differences in campaign and basic stats. Both these characters are made for people that are just starting the game and can't handle the real world of speed, explosions, weapons, tongues, cancer, and obesity. Now there's nothing wrong with liking Monk or Survivor. I mean, it's kind of like saying you enjoy eating those plain rice cake things, but hey, to each their own. B tier isn't saying that these guys are bad. B is a very respectable ranking, but they don't quite measure up to the downpour campaigns. God, I'm gonna get so much hate for this. Spearmaster! Yup, fucking B tier. Yes, it's cool having infinite spears. Yes, it's cool being the first Slugcat in the timeline, and yes, it's very fucking cool seeing Moon standing superstructure, but man, the spawns are just ridiculous to the point where I completely avoid Chimney Canopy. I will go all the way through Shaded and up the leg just to avoid Chimney, because it's just fucking impossible. Not to mention you start with terrible scavy reputation, and it seems like every region has a goddamn red lizard in it. I'm also not a fan of having half my abilities, holding 2 spears, being taken away so I can carry another goddamn pearl across the entire map. But it's not all bad. The difficult spawns make a lot of sense lore-wise with this being so early in the timeline, creatures not being dead yet and all, still being alive, like living and being there and not being dead. Getting to travel through Moon's superstructure is just epic as fuck. Probably one of my favorite regions, and also being the Slugcat to jumpstart the entire story of Rainworld just gives this campaign such a higher purpose. Next up is Gourmand, the first A tier Slugcat. What a complicated set of abilities we have here. Gourmand uses his immense weight and burst strength to survive in the wild. He can body slam and slide into enemies to deal massive damage while avoiding spears altogether, which is a good thing since spears, although dealing triple damage, will exhaust you, basically slowing you down to about half speed and massively reducing spear damage until you take a quick rest. Gourmand can also craft almost any item you can think of: karma flowers, pearls, living beings, and even singularity bombs. To new people, Gourmand is very challenging to use, but once you get used to his abilities, he's possibly the most powerful character in the game. Gourmand's campaign is a bit lackluster compared to the other downpour campaigns, but he also has an awesome optional side quest that unlocks slug pups and gives a better ending. Although his abilities are incredibly deep and the food quest is a fun experience, taking place in Hunter's campaign with no big changes keeps this jolly fella out of S tier. The last vanilla Slugcat on this list is Mr. Turbo Cancer himself. Hunter used to be really cool and unique, able to carry 2 spears and run and climb poles faster than Monk or Survivor. He's also able to eat meat, which the other main game Skugs cannot. But Hunter was absolutely destroyed by Downpour, with Spearmaster being able to hold 2 spears and Reveal being way faster than Hunter could ever dream. This definitely weakens his uniqueness and abilities, but Hunter is rescued by his campaign. Hunter's goal is to revive Moon using the reset keys given to him by his creator, no significant harassment. But his journey isn't as simple as Survivor's. Hunter has much more aggressive and plentiful spawns, and is introduced to some higher caliber enemies like red lizards and king vultures. Hunter is definitely the hard mode of the base game. Even with Downpour being an absolute powerhouse for the DLC, Hunter still holds his own as a unique and challenging campaign. Alright, it's time for the top 3. The first Skug in S tier is Reveal. Riv's story takes place after most other Slugcats. The world you live in now is far wetter than it used to be, with cycles being as short as 2.5 minutes. Luckily, Riv is perfectly adapted to this new threat. Reveal is twice the speed of her average Slugcat, and she's far more agile. She can also hold her breath underwater for a long period of time, which makes the frequent floods more manageable. Reveal's goal is to traverse 5 Pebbles' decaying superstructure, remove his backup power supply, and deliver it to Moon. But this isn't the same 5 Pebbles we've seen before. His structure has become completely overrun by decay, and is now known as the Rot. The walls are completely covered in blue goo, and the whole region is trying to kill you. This makes the Rot mildly frustrating to traverse, so I'll still take the floor and walls and ceilings are lava over the goddamn anti-grav. Delivering the rarefaction cell to the moon is not as easy as it seems. You know, because her whole superstructure is like underwater and shit. Seriously, this region feels so goddamn big, it's not even funny. Moon's main structure is now mostly underneath shoreline, meaning you'll be forced to navigate through dark caverns and deep trenches with very little air, whilst avoiding eels, giant jellyfish, and leviathans to reach the heart. Once there, you'll install the rarefaction cell and get propelled back to the surface as Look to the Moon gains access to her body once again. Moon is now able to interact with her structure, and some limited functions have been restored. She thanks you many times for the help, and Riv's story ends with Moon reaching out to her doomed friend and attempting to make peace. Going back to this campaign, I definitely see some flaws, mainly in the rotten submerged superstructure. They're a bit more frustrating than I remember, being absolutely enormous and very easy to get lost in. But overall, Riv's story is just incredible, with her abilities being perfectly balanced for the challenges she faces, and the world around you feeling fresh and unique to explore. Reveal It definitely earns her spot in S tier. Now this one might be a bit of a hot take, get it? Because explosions, and because she's a MILF. In case you can't tell, Artificer is really good friends with scavengers. She loves giving them spears and grenades, and of course, kisses. Artificer has been imbued with explosive powers because she's very angry, I guess. Breaking news, local rodent literally too angry to die. Artificer's children were killed by the toll scavengers at garbage waste after one of the babies stole one of their shiny rocks. Now if there's one thing I've learned from my mother, it's that a mama bear is very protective of her children. And when you fuck with the babies, you fuck with mama bear. So Artificer's goal is pretty much to take out all the scavengers, and I don't mean on a date. I guess that depends on your personal definition of a date. Artificer has to travel from garbage waste all the way up to Pebbles. The only issue is that Artificer is currently incapable of gaining karma. As with most things in her campaign, this problem is resolved by hate crimes. Dragging a scavenger corpse with ample karma to a gate will allow you to pass through. Once you reach 5 Pebbles, you will obviously see the uncontrollable rage radiating from your soup. That's supposed to say soul. From your soul and say, perhaps that way we can both depart from this interaction with something we desire. I desire blood. What do you desire, sir? He reprograms the Citizen ID drone that's been following you around, which allows you to access his ancient city, Metropolis. Metropolis was once a utopian city for the now long-gone ancients. It's now fully populated by hordes of disgusting, greedy primates. Heathens that must be taught the error of their ways. Listen, it's not racism if it's justified. After fighting and clawing and biting and exploding your way through the center of the city, you'll encounter the leader of the barbarians, aka the King Scavenger. The Scav Chieftain is covered from head to toe in red centipede armor, which must be dislodged before any damage can be dealt. This is the only true canonical boss fight in Rainworld, and honestly, it's pretty ass. Sometimes I kill the King Scav immediately, and sometimes I get incredibly unlucky and spend half an hour trudging back there after getting stabbed in the face again. Once you kill the chieftain, you'll be rewarded with a final cutscene where Artificer puts a shitload of scavs into a blender, wears the crown of the true conqueror, and knowing her children are avenged, she will be able to put this anger behind her. Or will she? So it's probably a bit of a hot take that I put Artificer in second place. I know lots of people tend to dislike her because her campaign is unfair, but that's kind of the whole point of Rainworld, right? I mean, unlike Spearmaster, who just has constant bullshit spawns for no apparent reason, Artificer has a solid purpose for all these scavs. She's perfectly adapted to fight them with all the explosives and agility she's been gifted with, and karma doesn't matter, so it's not quite as frustrating when you die to scavenger bullshit. It can still be pretty annoying trying to get through a karma gate only for all the scavs in the region to be away at Jimmy's birthday party for some inexplicable reason, but that's just a small blemish on Artificer's whole campaign. Between the incredible abilities and moving story of a furious mother avenging her children's undeserving murder, I think Artificer deserves her spot in second place. I wish I could say it was a difficult process to weed out and choose my favorite Slugcat, but it really wasn't. Saint is just so fucking flawless, there's no one that could take this spot, and it's not even close. Saint's campaign takes place far in the future of Rainworld after the events of all the other Slugcats. The ecosystem has adapted to the now freezing temperatures. Many of the weaker creatures and plant life had gone extinct, and the rain cycles have been replaced by freezing blizzards. Saint is unable to throw spears at all, which sounds very unfair until you see this little green vegan swing past you at Mach 10. Our little green friend has adapted quite well to this new world, with his long tongue which he uses to evade dangerous predators, and his fluffy coat which keeps him warmer in the cold than a standard Scug. Saint starts off his campaign with 2 karma, and is able to understand echoes without the mark of communication. These factors encourage you to visit echoes, which is good because that's basically Saint's goal. Visit echoes, collect karma, visit moon, collect more karma, visit pebbles. Oh, yeah, pebbles. Upon reaching the top of Chimney Canopy, you realize the bridge connecting the region to 5 Pebbles now leads to nothing. Pebbles has been dealing with the rot for a long time and is now fully collapsed just like Moon, crushing most of Shaded Citadel. Pebbles, Can, and Shaded Citadel have been conjoined into one massive region known as Silent Construct. The rot cysts that once ate away at this massive supercomputer had frozen and died, but Pebbles is now in even worse condition than Moon ever was. After traveling through the remains of the superstructure, you find Pebbles on the floor of his now exposed chamber. He can hardly speak or even think anymore. Even the pearl that brought him peace is badly damaged and hardly functional. This is the end of the age of the Iterators. Once Saint reaches Karma 10, his eyes open and he gains the ability to levitate and ascend creatures, literally going from completely harmless to the most powerful character in the game. Saint is now able to literally insta-kill any creature in the game, including Iterators. If Pebbles and Moon are ascended, they will give extra dialogue before Saint's ending. Oh yeah, speaking of which, Rubicon is the final region of Saint's campaign and Rainworld as a whole. It takes the place of the Depths and is an amalgamation of many rooms from the rest of the game. I'm not going to pretend to fully understand what this region is, so I'll try to keep it basic. Rubicon is hell, kinda? I mean, it's literally codenamed Hell Region in the game files, so it's a place where all forms of the world exist simultaneously and time isn't real, I think. This is very confusing. Basically, big lava area, lots of scary stuff. Kill the big scary stuff with your big scarier abilities. Say hi to funny robots. Try to kill a worm. Fail to kill a worm. Start all over again. So, from my understanding, Saint is the solution to the great problem. The entire goal of his campaign is to end the cycle, but that's not possible for some reason. I don't know. I'm not a lore buff. I'm sure Das has a video on it somewhere that would probably explain it much better than I can. With the ridiculous world changes that make Saint feel like learning to play Rainworld all over again, and the super nuke abilities that make an otherwise impossible challenge feel really fun, I can't imagine putting Saint any lower on this list. Although I may enjoy other Slugcat's abilities more than Saint, he truly is the #1 Scug and a perfect ending to Downpour. Hey, thanks for watching the video. I'm sure I missed a whole lot of details on each Slugcat, so if you have any input, let me know. Unless you're an Inv stan, just, go away, grow up, stop lying to yourself, Inv sucks. Only kidding. It's fine to be wrong. As long as you accept that you're wrong. Okay. Seriously, let me know your favorite Slugcat in the comments below. This video took way too many weeks to make, so if you want to leave a like or subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. That's it for me.